आपके समक्ष आदर और धन्यवाद है। आप वो गुरु, शोधक, चिकित्सक और वक्ता रहे हैं और हैं जो हम सभी के लिए प्रेरणीय है। मैं आपके ही समक्ष इस पूरे पीडियाट्रिक्स परिवार की ओर से आपका स्वागत करती हूँ और अभिनंदन करती हूँ। डॉक्टर सविता देवरारी मैम, आपका हार्दिक स्वागत है। मैं स्वागत करती हूँ एम्स के डायरेक्टर प्रोफेसर रणदीप गुलेरिया सर का कि वे आज इस अवसर पर हमारे साथ हैं। सभी शिक्षक गणों का, सम्माननीय अतिथियों का, मेरे साथी चिकित्सकों का, सभी नर्सिंग टेक्निकल स्टाफ के सभी सज्जन वृंदों का, सभी छात्र और छात्राओं का हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ और अभिनंदन करती हूँ। आज मैं अपनी एक छोटी कोशिश से उनका परिचय देने जा रही हूँ जिनके परिचय में मेरी कलम, मेरे शब्द सब कमजोर है। एक बहुमुखी प्रतिभा, स्पष्टवादी, सत्यनिष्ठ, हमेशा आनंदित, हंसमुख व्यक्ति, ऐसा व्यक्तित्व जो हर पल नवीनतम, सबसे आधुनिकतम ज्ञान के अर्जन के लिए उत्सुक रहने वाले चिकित्सक हैं और उस ज्ञान को सभी के साथ बांटकर संतुष्टि पाने वाले प्रोफेसर अशोक कुमार देवरारी से। सर मिलनसार ऐसे हैं कि बच्चों के संग बच्चे, युवाओं के साथ नौजवान, छात्रों के लिए पितृतुल्य गुरु और सभी सहकर्मियों के चहेते हैं। सर, आपके व्यक्तित्व से ये सभा प्रकाशित है, गौरवान्वित है। मैं आपका हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ। डॉक्टर सविता देवरारी मैम, जो न केवल सर की जीवन संगिनी है परंतु इस पथ पर प्रोफेसर देवरारी की प्रेरणा और बल रही हैं। हार्दिक स्वागत मैम। मैं तहे दिल से हमारे डायरेक्टर प्रोफेसर रणदीप गुलेरिया सर का स्वागत करती हूँ। मैं निवेदन करती हूँ प्रोफेसर पंकज हरी सर से, प्रोफेसर शेफाली गुलाटी मैम से और प्रोफेसर राकेश लोधा सर से कि वे हमारे अतिथियों को पुष्प भेंट कर उनका स्वागत करें।
नाम के लिए डायरेक्ट
The old order change it, yielding place to the new. I would now like to invite Professor Arvind Bagga, a new dynamic and high-spirited head, but more importantly, someone who has been with Professor Deorari more than any one of us through the 7 stages of academic life, be it an undergraduate, be it postgraduate, senior residency, or a faculty, to now share a few words with us.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Richa, Director Sir, Ashok, Savita, members of the family, members of the entire faculty who are there, Professor N.K. Arora. Thank you very much for being here. And the whole, the residents, nursing staff, technical staff, I think we all welcome you here on this momentous occasion, which is really the time of superannuation of Professor Deorari. He finishes a career, a very illustrious career at the Institute, spanning almost 5 decades. And it's been my fortune, that I've worked with him alongside with him for the last 4 decades, at least, in pediatrics. And we have seen, how he has led the department to new heights. Having worked with him for the last almost 4 decades, I would just like to talk or mention 3 aspects that I think, singularly put him out, compared to other faculty members. The first is really, and I'm sure others have spoken about it before, is his intense devotion towards education. I think that's one thing that's really his hallmark. And if I look back when I was a resident and I was working as a resident or as a senior resident, we used to have those blood gases lectures, Ashok, that he used to discuss with us. Excellent blood gas reports and all that, and this finally grew bigger. A lot of work was done in education, particularly neonatology, and later on involving the whole department. We know that the neonatal website, the neonatology website, has got such a large number of hits. It's perhaps the most unique website in the world. Again, in many ways, thanks to Ashok and his colleagues, who have worked with him. And e-education again has been something that he has been extremely fond of. And we have all been, at times, drilled into us, that tum log nahi karte, baki, look at what we are doing, and which is so, and he really tries to motivate many of us to be able to pursue this path. So education has been one hallmark. The other thing, that I have admired a lot is his diligence and unflinching loyalty to the institute and to the department. Whatever work that's been given to him, he has done it to the best of his ability. Whether you look at, obviously, I'm not even talking about neonatology. Neonatology is now one of the best departments of neonatology in this region. Not even India, maybe the teaching program, the MD, the DM program, the way it's grown up to be, it's clearly a very major program. So that's clearly one aspect. But in pediatrics, at the institute level, doing these neonatal workshops, when I was growing with him, when we were faculty, he used to kind of go every weekend across the country for these trainer workshops, where they would go and teach neonatal resuscitation. And we are seeing where we are, based on all that work that has been done. Subsequently, in the last few years, he's been in charge of the SET facility, the chairperson of the SET facility. And all those who are aware, do know of his singular contributions towards, the growth of the SET facility, towards the quality initiative programs that he has helped launch, at the institute, even outside the institute, and many other things. He's obviously been helping the other AIIMS at the other than Delhi, particularly Kalyani, where he is the chairperson of the selection committee, and so on. So there are lots of things to say. In the last 2 years, we have seen a different facet of him as he has worked with the director and the whole institute for COVID care, and both at the institute level and at a national level. So clearly, a lot of work has been done over the last few years by him. And finally, I think he's been one of the perfect leaders that the department has had. The Department of Pediatrics, the way we see it today, owes a lot to its leadership, and if you look back towards Dr. Taneja, Professor Ghai, Dr. Mehirban Singh, Veena Kalra, Dr. Seth, Vinod Paul, and now Ashok, he has really carried the legacy forward. And I think he's been somebody, who's been a very decisive leader to have, somebody, whom you can go and speak to. He's not afraid of speaking out his mind when he thinks that something is going wrong. But on the very next day, he's as good as anybody else, So I think he's got a very clear heart, and I can say that with full conviction, because many of us share these attributes with him, and very often we discuss, कि हाँ हम भी ये सोचते हैं कि ऐसे करना चाहिए था. So obviously extremely empathetic towards his colleagues, reaching out whenever required. So Ashok, you have really been a decisive and a very excellent leader that we have had, and we hope that we can really emulate what you have done for us. So on behalf of the whole department, we thank you. We congratulate you on an excellent innings. Wish you all the very best for future. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
धन्यवाद सर। कार्यक्रम की इस श्रृंखला में मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहती हूँ डॉक्टर सुशील कुमार काबरा सर को, जिन्होंने प्रोफेसर देवरारी के साथ कई पड़ाव पार किए हैं और उनके सफ़र को करीबी से देखा है। सर अपने अनुभव, कुछ किस्से हम सबके साथ साझा करें।
आदरणीय प्रोफेसर देवरारी, निदेशक महोदय, प्रोफेसर अरविंद बग्गा एवं मित्रों, डॉक्टर देवरारी के समय के अभाव के कारण से मैं कुछ ही समय लूँगा। डॉक्टर देवरारी का बाल सुलभ व्यक्तित्व, डॉक्टर देवरारी जो ऋचा ने कहा, डॉक्टर बग्गा ने कहा, उसमें समाहित है कि उनका बाल सुलभ व्यक्तित्व है। और उनकी मैं दो पहलू आपसे शेयर करना चाहूँगा। एक है वो समय से आगे सोचते हैं। जो हम पिछले 2 साल में वर्चुअल ट्रेनिंग और ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग और ये सब सोच रहे हैं, वो उन्होंने कई दशक पहले आरंभ किया और ना केवल हिंदुस्तान लेकिन दुनिया के बहुत से डॉक्टर्स की ट्रेनिंग भी आरंभ करी नियोनेटोलॉजी में। और दूसरा एस्पेक्ट है कि उन्होंने ये मालूम किया कि किस चीज़ की कमज़ोर कड़ी है बच्चों के केयर में, न्यूबॉर्न के केयर में, वो है नर्सिंग स्टाफ की ट्रेनिंग। तो ये 2 पहलू जो उन्होंने आगे बढ़ाए। मैं और समय नहीं लूँगा, मैं देवरारी की सुखद एवं सफल भविष्य की कामना करता हूँ। नमस्ते।
Thanks a lot, sir, for those kind words. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to invite the better half of Professor S.K. Krabra, Professor Madhulika Kabra, for even better anecdotes and insights into the life and times of our beloved Professor Deorari.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. I actually don't have anecdotes per se, but first of all, I would like to wish you all a very happy Rare Disease Day. So we are wishing everybody a happy Rare Disease Day and giving farewell to a person who's actually very rare to find. So he has some such qualities which are very, very unique to him. So so much has been said about his outstanding contribution towards the field of neonatology, particularly education, going digital, quality assurance, and contributions to the national programs. I think there are few things which over the years when we have worked with Sir, and I think we all have imbibed, are 4 or 5 things which I think are very, very important. The first thing is, which is a tradition of our department, is working together. So he would always sort of encourage everybody to work together. And secondly, he would always keep AIIMS and department before an individual. So he would always say, whatever we are because of AIIMS. It is not that individually we are doing something very great, but it is because of AIIMS that we are recognized all over the country. The second thing which I really admire about Sir is that he would always insist on utilization of whatever procurement is being done. So he's very particular about procuring things and then assuring that there is accountability for whatever we are using and in patient care. The other thing which we are always worried about whenever we are giving a thesis topic to a MD pediatric student or a DM student is that we have to think that how it will be applicable to patient care. So he would ask, you are doing this, how it is going to help patient care. So translation of your research, whatever you are doing, he has been always emphasizing on that. And another thing which I would like to emphasize, he has that, what should I say? He would recognize people with talent and then encourage them to a big extent. Like, for example, some of his very important apps have been actually made by interns and MBBS students. So he would recognize and encourage them, and then they would do wonders. And obviously, we all enjoyed all the get-togethers hosted by Savita and Sir at home, and we will still look forward for many more in future to come. And on a personal note, Sir, I would like to thank you for all the support. I just want to say that a one-liner which I received during the thick of COVID from Sir was like an order. I do not want to see you in the hospital premises during this time. Please protect yourself. So this is something very, very unusual, and I really thank you, Sir, for that. Thank you very much, Sir, for all the guidance and support all through. We wish you and Dr. Savita joy, peace, good health, and many more achievements in future life. Thank you very much.
आपके शब्दों के लिए धन्यवाद मैम। मैं डीन मैम आपका स्वागत करती हूँ। मैं वो मंजर हूँ जो आँखों में ठहर जाता है, कह दे अगर कोई तो असर जाता है। हमारे शब्द सब निर्बल हैं। इतना सब कुछ है सर कहने को, सराहने को, अपने भाव व्यक्त करने को। इन्हीं भावों को एक छोटे से वीडियो में पिरोने की कोशिश की गई। आपके बीते वर्ष के बारे में आपके साथ हम ये वीडियो देखना चाहते हैं और मैम के साथ, इस प्रार्थना, इस कामना सहित कि आगे आने वाले वर्ष आपके इससे भी ज़्यादा उज्जवल, इससे भी ज़्यादा गौरवमयी हो।
Namaskar. Good morning. I bring you greetings from the campus at Stanford University in the honor of Dr. Ashok Deorari. My colleagues and I join him in wishing him and his wonderful wife the best of success and happiness as he transitions to a new phase of his life. I got to know Ashok almost 35 years ago when he was a young neonatology student. About 35 years ago, Dr. Meherban Singh, Professor Meherban Singh, introduced me to this very bright young student. I was at the threshold of doing my first workshop on neonatal ventilation and resuscitation. I just recently invited Dr. Nalini Singhal and Dr. Macmillan, whom you have heard from, and who were initiating the first ever session of the neonatal resuscitation program initiated by the American Academy of Pediatrics. This was an 8-hour-long session, and Nalini warned me that this was going to be an intensive session and that if we were going to commence this in India, that we needed to train a bright young faculty. And there was Ashok, joined by his mentor and immediate colleague, Vinod Paul. The relationship between Vinod Paul and Ashok Deorari is legendary. It reminds you of the Ram-Lakshman relationship, where both act as brothers and yet mentor each other and provide service to the Ram Rajya at All India Institute of Medical Sciences. The mentor, the leader, just like Ram and Lakshman, here Ashok was the student and the devoted acolyte who perpetuated the message of this Ram Rajya. That was of quality care, neonatal medicine delivered by expert clinicians, whether they be physicians, nurses, or members of the janitorial staff. That has been the tradition that Ashok has practiced, preached, and taught. That is a relationship between the guru and the shishya. He has become a guru on how to be a shishya. His ability to amass knowledge, implement it, and to perpetuate in a student-like manner persists to the day. He has been blessed by this ability to teach and to emulate, and he has inspired students on how to learn and respect their elders. That is the iconic message that Ashok has perpetuated through the entire neonatology field in India, and for that he has to be appreciated, recognized, and lauded. And it is this legacy that he leaves behind as a learning teaching institution of India in the WHO Collaborating Center, and therefore he has a global impact. I wish Ashok and his family the best of wishes, the best of blessings, and let him continue to bless and empower the students of India in neonatology. He is a source of inspiration. Thank you.
My favorite memory of Professor Deorari as an MBBS or undergrad student is the fact that I remember कि हम लोग 8 to 9 के lectures usually लगाते नहीं थे, मतलब कोई attendance बहुत ज़्यादा compulsory नहीं थी. I missed one of his lectures. तो मैं just randomly asked one of my friends कि how was the lecture, and he was like कि इतना अच्छा lecture था, and it was such a nice lecture that कि he was very energetic, sir was very energetic, and I shouldn't have missed it. And normally nobody says like that, and I remember कि I made it a point कि next time when the lecture is कि मैं 7:30 alarm लगा के ढंग से उठूं and go to his lecture. And he was right. So is an amazing teacher, and class was jam packed, but it didn't matter, because even if you're sitting on the first bench or on the last bench, so was so energetic, so full of passion कि even the person who was sitting probably on the last bench was enjoying the class as thoroughly as the person who was sitting on the first bench. So that's my memory of Deorari sir as the perfect teacher, and a person who can make a sleeping MBBS student wake up to come to class.
Gift I got from AIIMS soon after I joined as an MD resident in the Department of Pediatrics was Professor A.K. Deorari as my thesis guide. He mentored me to a project on transcranial ultrasound in premature neonates and shaped my work from its inception and protocol design to the time it actually got published in a journal. In this busy AIIMS residency, away from family, away from home, he has always been like a local guardian to me. Of course, he used to be the most active faculty in the morning academics, but the best part was that he was more interested and more keen in the teaching and learning of junior residents rather than the senior residents. His ideas of teamwork and quality improvement reflect his intrinsic leadership qualities. In addition to being an academic, a clinical, and research giant, he is so much into technology. Be it app building, or be it website design, or even a YouTube channel for dissemination of knowledge on clinical care of newborns. There is no superannuation or farewell of such a personality. He has a legacy effect on his students. His teachings will be perpetuated in the department and the whole country forever.
Message from Dr. Nalini Singhal. I have known Ashok for over 25 years. He never stops to amaze me with his commitment to make the lives of babies better. When he was in Calgary, the rest of my family and Savita would look forward to watching movies in the evening, but Ashok just wanted to read the perinatal clinics. I think he must dream of what he can do next to change the life of babies. This is not a day for retirement. It's a day when you start wearing another hat, Ashok, to possibly make even more of a difference in the life of babies than you have done till now. You have to one-up yourself. I will be watching and following your ongoing achievements. All the best.
Good morning, sir. All the best wishes for your new innings, sir. Sir, I just want to say that when I joined this institute in the year 1986, we hardly had any resource material for the nurses. Sir, for simple procedures like counting respiration, taking temperature, putting orogastric tube, every nurse was doing it in her own way. There was no standard protocol for all these procedures. But today, we are well versed with the resource material. You just name it and we have it. We have on top, we have many procedure, we have this procedure book for the nurses, we have equipment book, we have STPs, and we have preterm care package. So today, we are full of resources, and sir, these resources have helped not only the NICU nurses, but all over the India and Southeast Asia region. Sir, I want to add one more thing, that resource material, yes, like today, if you want to search anything on YouTube, you have to write Dr. Ashok Deorari, and you will get whatever procedure you want, whatever thing you want to learn about neonatology, you have it. And sir, same is for the SET facility, bringing all the departments together and work for the humanity. Only a great leader can do it. Thank you very much, sir, for the contribution you have done for us.
Good evening. I have been extremely fortunate to have been taught and guided by great teachers like Deorari sir and Paul sir. I still remember the time when I cracked my PG exam at AIIMS, and without a second doubt, I took up pediatrics, though I had many other choices. This was not only because of my extreme and eternal love for the branch, but also the Department of Pediatrics, that is the world of opportunities. The ethos, the energy, and the values that have been constantly nurtured over the years by fathers like you, sir, was easily palpable when you could walk through C5, D5, or meet anyone from the Department of Pediatrics. That was really inviting and very, very exciting for a dreamer like me. Your contribution to our life and our career is beyond words, sir. You taught us great values to think outside the box, push our boundaries, work religiously and passionately for a cause. And the one message that I will always carry that you taught was that care of a newborn is never, never complete without the care of the family. And to have deeply rooted values and empathy while providing medical care for the newborn. Sir, you are an exemplary teacher, a perfect guide, and a go-to friend. Thank you for providing a comfort zone for all of us and being readily receptive and genuinely helpful for all the problems that we came to you for, be it petty or big. As a fortunate mentee under you, sir, I will continue to carry the values and the messages and the lessons that you taught and will try to spread it wherever I be. Sir, may you be blessed with all the energy and good health, and may you continue to inspire millions and millions of students like me. Happy retirement, sir.
Especially like to thank Savita ma'am for sharing her memories, and a special thanks to Kritika, Shivam, and Sharan for this beautiful compilation. So there were multiple more messages for you, and there is no end to our well wishes and our memories of and for you. But unfortunately, because of the paucity of the time, we could not compile all them together. I'm sure everyone sitting here has a memory, anecdote, or something that they want to share about sir, speak about sir. But due to the limited amount of time that we have, I would first like to invite a few representatives from each and every aspect of our department, be it research staff, scientists, residents, or office staff, for their perspectives and stories. I would like to invite Dr. Lata, Mrs. Manju from office, who has worked not with just Professor Deorari, but also various other HODs from yesteryears, and amongst residents, Dr. Shivam, who has seen Professor Deorari as an undergraduate, as a postgraduate, and now as a senior resident.
Good afternoon, all. It's my great honor and a pleasure to say a few words for Sir on the behalf of scientist team. I would like to express my sincerest gratitude to Sir for his incredible journey and contribution to this department and organization. But not for this, to each and every staff member individually. So today is your last working day, but the second inning of your life would start tomorrow. So congratulate for that. And I would like to just wish him a good health and happiness in his life. And I have recently joined, but my journey with Sir was very small, but it is quite memorable. And my phone will always remember you. And I just wish him good luck and happy retirement day, sir.
Good afternoon, all of you. I offer my best wishes and express personal appreciation for you having been an exceptional boss. It has been a privilege to work for someone as remarkable as you. I want to thank you for having faith in me. It was a wonderful journey with you. I am sure it has been a long road to get where you are today, but I am also confident that you should be proud of all the achievements you have made along the way. Congratulations, and we wish you tons of happiness after your retirement. We will miss you, sir. I wish you all the best and pray that may God always be there for you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
A very good afternoon, respected director sir, all my teachers and dear colleagues. So here we have gathered for a really emotional moment for each one of us, and I would say we are here to celebrate the colossal journey of the last 48 years of sir's travel through this institute, through the roads, through the hostels, the college, and the central lawn. So, sir, first of all, I would like to say that apart from being a great teacher, an excellent and a wise researcher, and a very great administrator, you have been an actual friend for each and every resident who is there, including the junior, the senior resident, and a very student-friendly teacher, which I feel. During my last 9 years in the institute, as an undergraduate, a postgraduate, and now a senior resident, I still remember there were many few incidences in which we got to know sir even more better. So when I was in third year of my undergraduation, we were standing in front of Professor Rita Sood ma'am's office. So we had an exam case to present, and there was a typical MBBS graduate look with a notebook at the last moment, trying to read, trying to score something, and all perplexed, all stressed out. And we could see sir was passing by. He actually understood that what we were facing, what we were going to face, and he gave us a very huge smile and gestured us and wished us a best of luck for the upcoming Viva. So, and there was so many multiple incidents which happened, and sir taking Viva was always very interesting, because apart from those questions, those daily questions which people ask in your examinations, so you used to put some personal touch in it. So you used to ask, where are you from? What do you want to do in a future life? What is your research interest? What do you like in pediatrics? Do you even like pediatrics? So this was his first few questions during your undergraduation examinations. So be it your professional or your internal examinations. So slowly, gradually, I feel each and every undergraduate of this institute actually like pediatrics. The only thing is there is some predisposition to become a surgeon versus taking an adult medicine, but each one of us do have pediatrics as one of the option, because we have such great faculties with us whose book the entire Southeast Asia is being reading. So we are blessed to have sir as our mentor, as our teacher, as a great friend. And I actually got the opportunity to be in this department and experienced the novelty of sir. And I also got sir as my co-guide in my MD thesis. And then I realized that he keeps on motivating all of us at every moment to think out of the box. And this was quite important for us to grow, to succeed. And it has helped us in all our research work, and also helped us to actually evaluate the patient, have a good patient clinical skills. And I can't thank sir enough for that. Lastly, I would not like to take much time, but I would say that how lucky are we to have something that is so good, that makes it so hard to say goodbye. But I don't think we are saying goodbye. We want to see, sir, you around over here all more often. Thank you, sir. Thank you for everything, sir.
धन्यवाद डॉक्टर लता, मिस मंजू और शिवम। सर, ये वीडियो, ये संदेश, ये सभी एक छवि मात्र है। जो वीडियो, जो किस्से, जो भाव हमारी आत्मा में है, वो अनंत हैं सर, और इतने कम समय में इन्हें दर्शाना बहुत ही कठिन। अब मैं हम सभी की ओर से आमंत्रित करती हूँ एम्स के डायरेक्टर, हमारे मुखिया प्रोफेसर रणदीप गुलेरिया सर को। सर, आप अपना बहुमूल्य समय निकाल कर हर कदम पीडियाट्रिक्स परिवार के साथ सम्मिलित रहे हैं। मैं धन्यवाद सहित निवेदन करती हूँ कि इस मौके पर अपना संदेश।
Good afternoon, Dr. Deorari, Mr. Deorari, and members of the family. Dr. Bagga, the new head of the department from tomorrow. My faculty colleagues, residents, administrative staff, nursing officers, technical officers, ladies and gentlemen, and of course the other members who have come here Dr. Arora, and other close friends of Professor Deorari. At the onset, let me say that, as was mentioned today, we have a rare disease day, but we also have a National Science Day today. So today is special, and I think Dr. Deorari is a rare gem of science. So he's a person who really science is going to miss. And today, I think we are here to really tell him how much we owe him for what he's done, as far as not only the department, the institute, but the academic and research arena in the country is concerned. But first of all, I'd like to really say that I think Dr. Deorari is a true gentleman, thorough person who you never see get angry, would always encourage people, and even find solutions when you have a tough problem ahead of you. This is a rare quality in him and something that I think all of us should learn to emulate. So really remarkable in terms of an individual. As has already been said, and I came to know Dr. Deorari more closely, I've been meeting him off and on because my office when I joined AIIMS was on the 3rd floor in the Pediatrics department, and I used to share that with Dr. Kalpana Nagarkar, who then left, and I used to meet Dr. Deorari, Dr. Paul, Dr. Bahan at that point in time, and felt a little bit of a pediatrician rather than an adult physician because my office was actually in the Department of Pediatrics. But I got to know Dr. Deorari more closely, I think, in the last 6-7 years. And as has been said, a very meticulous person and dedicated to teaching. And teaching which can be innovative, thinking outside the box. And as was rightly said, he was thinking of online classes, online teaching, even before the pandemic hit us. When we started work on the set facilities, he was the chairperson. There was already a lot of talk on simulations, online teaching, webinars. How can we reach out to other institutes, and how can we really make our teaching much better, increasing, considering the number of residents that we were having. That became very useful, and I think that is what put AIIMS at where it was during the pandemic. We could not have really done what we did during the pandemic in terms of the webinars we had, the EICUs that we did, the national grand rounds that we did, and so many other activities for pediatric patients, for the healthcare workers, even for the nursing community. So many webinars were organized. It could not have been possible unless we had a leader like Dr. Deorari. So I think he deserves a big round of applause for that contribution. What AIIMS really was able to set standards during the pandemic in terms of academic activities, in terms of teaching, was because of the cohesiveness of the set facility. And one mark of a true leader is how to get people to come as a team and to work as a team and get the best out of each individual of that team. And I think Dr. Deorari excelled in that. He formed a dedicated team of people who were dedicated, who were willing to come and work in the set facility, make modules even on odd hours or on a holiday, which was not part of their job. And in the early parts of the day, and I would say even now, we don't give them the appreciation they deserve. Yet because of his leadership skills, he got them all as a team. And we had so many excellent modules made as far as teaching was concerned, that now they are not only benchmarks at national level, but at international level. So that is something which is remarkable, to get close team to work. And I think we will always be grateful for that activity. Thank you for that. Very meticulous. I remember he would always say, whatever we do, we must have quality control and quality assurance. Everything depends on that, and no activity we can do without making sure that quality is maintained and quality assurance is there. And again, something that I think all of us, including the youngsters, need to learn, because we tend to do a lot of things, but we don't see two things. One is its sustainability, and whether we are able to maintain the quality and standards over a period of time. So it starts at like a big bang, gradually sort of tapers off, but he would make sure that that quality was maintained throughout. And that again is a remarkable achievement. So, true clinician, a researcher, and a teacher that everyone should emulate, and very passionate about trying to really teach people. So, I would really say that I don't think this is a day of retirement or a day of saying that he's retiring from AIIMS. It's a day of celebration and saying that he's moving on to new frontiers. People like Dr. Deorari don't retire, they continue to become better and better. He has a lot of contribution still that he can do to medicine, to education, and I'm sure he will continue to do that. I'm sure AIIMS will continue to benefit from that, and we will always remain grateful for that contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful words of appreciation. Now, I would respect Professor Deorari and all the respected faculty members to present Lord Ganesha as a memento to Sir Deorari. Lord Ganesha signifies the Lord of New Beginnings. And as we know, this is not, like Sir just said, this is not a farewell, but it's just the beginning of a new, beautiful journey for Professor Deorari. Some things we all know he will excel at. Yes, sir. We are sorry that we are deviating a bit from the program because Director Sir probably has to leave. We'll continue with this. Yeah. Yeah. I request every faculty member of the Department of Pediatrics to come forward and give this beautiful memento. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Now, I would like to present Professor Deorari with a memento along with the shawl plate again as a token of appreciation for everything that he has done and for everything that he is. And respected faculty members. I request every faculty member to come for a picture with Professor Deorari. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We had initially deviated because we had thought that director sir had to leave. Now we are continuing with the program as scheduled. Now I would like anyone in the audience, particularly the faculty members and Dean ma'am, if they have anything to share about Professor Deorari, if they would like to come up and come up. If there is. If anyone would like to.
Sir, I wish you the very best. I think my biggest privilege has been that when I joined AIIMS, sir, you were my thesis guide. And for those of you who don't know, I was the first MD student who was sir's guide. And that I consider it as one of my biggest privileges. मैं सर का गाइड था, मैं सर का स्टूडेंट था, सर मेरे गाइड थे. आई वॉज सर्स फर्स्ट स्टूडेंट. सर मेरे गाइड रहे थीसिस में, सर मेरे गाइड रहे वैसे भी, सर मेरे टीचर रहे, सर मेरे बेटे के डॉक्टर रहे. और नॉट ओनली दैट, आज अगर मुझे कभी कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है, माय वाइफ टेल्स मी, सर को फोन करो और सर से मिलने चलो. सर, यू हैव बीन माय गाइड एवर सिंस आई जॉइंड एम्स एंड आई कंसिडर दिस एज माय प्रिविलेज. थैंक यू सो मच सर. नॉट ओनली दैट सर, द वे यू वर माय गाइड इन थीसिस, योर गुडनेस is something that I cherish. And I was just telling Aditi, it's not your scientific things that you offered me, but your goodness as a person that I cherish. Thank you so much.
Director sir, faculty, residents, and Professor Deorari. For you, Ashok. Yeah, actually, I would have been a pediatrician, but Dr. Meherban Singh was the acting head at that time, and so strict that I had to leave pediatrics and join dermatology. So a lot of people told me it was a frying pan into a fire situation because Dr. Bhutani was mukable ke. Anyway, I wish you were the HOD at that time. I would have been a pediatrician. Okay. Now, my interaction with Dr. Deorari, the first time I came back as a faculty here, there was a patient and we had to send a call to the pediatrician. So I called up the resident and I said, who's the consultant on call? He said, Dr. Deorari. I said, वो कौन है? वो जो tall, handsome looking pediatric consultant है, वो है. So that was my first introduction to Dr. Deorari. See, everybody's spoken about, how good a teacher he is. I'm going to tell you the lighter side of his life. Then I have interacted with him, discussing patients sometimes. During COVID times, I used to always wait for him to ask questions because they were so philosophic, so well thought out. Usually you think about answers being well thought out, but his questions were very well thought and very simple questions. He would ask the director, ये वैक्सीन लेनी चाहिए कि नहीं लेनी चाहिए? It sounds such a simple question, but then you would baffle the director also. So those were moments I used to wait for, and the days he wouldn't ask a question, I would wonder, is he all right today? I think there are a lot in the faculty who would agree with that. Yeah, and when from the ministry I got a call and said कि simulation lab का chairperson किसको बनाना है? I forwarded that message to you just a couple of weeks back. And I said, can't think of another person who would do more justice to that, to the platform there. So yeah, those are the memories. And of course, he's not retiring. He told me I'm going to retire into the hills or something. I know he's not going to do that. And if he does that, we'll go to get him back. All the best for the future. And thank you, Savita, for doing all the jugaad that day.
Anyone else wants to speak, I would definitely. So,
Professor Deorari has been, which one? This one? Yeah. Professor Deorari has been in AIIMS for 48 years. I have overlapped with him for 47 of those 48 years. So 1974, 1975. And apart from, it's everyone has talked about how wonderful a teacher he is, how really a thinker who looks beyond the obvious, and a person who puts institutional interest first. I mean, these things do come up when you talk of Dr. Deorari, and I mean, there's no question. I mean, I can't say it better than the people who have said it before. The only thing, one line I must say, that this, I am in biochemistry, and there is this, after the staircase, you branch off right biochemistry and left is pediatrics. And that place in that corridor has really contributed to my personal growth and development. And the latest being my interactions with Dr. Deorari. And of course, before that, the privilege of, interacting with wonderful people like Dr. Paul, Dr. Bhan, Dr. Arora, and Bagga, and anybody, all and sundry who come and chat. I think this is one good feature of the institute. I'm sure I don't know about any other institution. I haven't been to many more. So that whether you can actually just talk, chat, and in the process, get a lot of wisdom, get a lot of, let's say, daily assistance, anything. And for that, I think this is something that I felt I should highlight. And this Department of Pediatrics overall has been a kind of an exemplary department, and not from today, from decades earlier. And this is a department which really has let people grow and spread their wings and really populate the intellectual dimensions of clinical and clinical science. And I think Dr. Deorari as the latest torchbearer, and I'm sure many more will follow. All the best for your future. And whatever it is, I don't know, but I'm sure it'll be glorious and wonderful.
Good afternoon, sir. And at the outset, the very best for you in future. So my interaction with Dr. Deorari has been also very long. First as a student when he was a resident, and then as a resident when he was a young faculty in pediatrics, and when we went for rotation, and right through the years now as consultants in allied departments, interacting nearly on daily basis about many patients, administrative problems, and other problems in the department. And also from the Department of Pediatric Surgery, I wish to say here that Dr. Deorari has been a pillar of support for us, especially in developing neonatal surgical care. And we are always very grateful to him. And I hope we would continue to have his support and his guidance for developing pediatric surgical neonatal teaching program and the care for India. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, friends. Coming back to AIIMS is always nostalgic. I formally left AIIMS in 2007, but went on sabbatical in 2005, so it's 17 years. But I have never felt that I am outside. And I must also say 48 years. You joined in 73 and I joined in 74. So it's 47 years of association with Ashok. And in fact, I do not know how many of you remember, his thesis was on pediatric gastroenterology. He did work on ORS, and I was the senior research officer at that time with Dr. Bhan. तो कभी कभी इनका काम भी ओवरसी कर रहा होता था मैं. And but what so that's the non-neonatology component. But these 17 years when I'm looking at AIIMS from outside, I find one person who has really brought medical education onto fore, both national and international level. It is Ashok Deorari. So it is beyond neonatology. And as it has been repeatedly said, he has been thinking much ahead, and particularly just like surgical skills, neonatal skills are complicated. It requires special attention to the detail, and also to ensure that whatever has been passed on, it is also practiced. And I think Ashok has evolved a method. I'm sure being in pediatrics, all of you are aware that still the bulk of our mortality is in the neonatal period. And the contributions probably are unmeasurable. And today, I know how much is he in demand. In fact, the other day, Randeep Guleria and myself were in a particular meeting, and there was a demand that Dr. Deorari should join as one of the chief of one of the branches of National Medical Commission for medical education. Dr. Sharma was suggesting that. I do not know to what extent you will be interested, but I know your second inning is going to be even brighter, and it will bring more laurels to this country. All the best to both Savita and Ashok. I bring greetings from my family, Priya, and my whole family for both of you. Thank you very much.
Respected Director Sir, Dr. Deorari, all my senior faculty. I'm here today because I'm one of his biggest fans and followers. And it was just by chance, I would say serendipity, that I was sitting next to his, in the next seat to his in a flight back from Sri Lanka, which was a completely obstetrician meet. And in those 2 hours, I have been converted to quality for life. And sir, before I actually got to know you, I don't think it was really possible to think of clinicians as quality people. And now there is an entire generation of obstetricians across country who want to do quality and who think that quality is important. So sir, I think, is the quality guru for the medical profession of the nation. And sir, even if you are leaving from here, I'm sure we're going to really be working together, and you're going to lead so many other more people to do much more than what is actually required just in the clinical part. Thank you, sir.
चाचा जी की यही खासियत है कि कोई उनके सामने कुछ बोल नहीं सकता. Respected Director Sir, Dr. Bagga, and good afternoon everybody. I think कुछ prepare किया नहीं है मैंने, but I am short of words, to be very honest, because of the fact शायद पीछे जितने स्टूडेंट्स बैठे हैं, मेरा जब से जन्म हुआ है, ही हैड बीन माई गुरु, माई गाइड. जैसे आप लोगों को गाइड किया है, मेरे लिए वो लाइफ कोच है. आपके लिए शायद कैरियर कोच होंगे, बट मेरे लिए लाइफ कोच है. इट इज़ अ प्राइड फॉर मी दैट आई शेयर द सरनेम विद हिम, एंड इट्स अ बिग रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑल्सो. Chacha ji, thank you for everything, for guiding us. The whole family members are thankful to you. मैं आना नहीं चाह रहा था यहाँ पे, लेकिन डीन मैडम की कुछ बातें हुई तो उससे मुझे कुछ बातें याद आ गई. किसी ने बहुत खूब कहा है कि मंजिल से ज़्यादा सफ़र सुहाना होता है. मंजिल से ज़्यादा सफ़र सुहाना होता है. हम कहीं जाते हैं तो उसमें सोचते हैं कि गोवा जाएंगे, उसकी तैयारी में बहुत मज़ा आता है. गोवा पहुंच गए तो सब खत्म हो गया. मंजिल से ज़्यादा सफ़र सुहाना होता है ये मंजिल नहीं, पड़ाव है और सफर जारी रहना चाहिए। धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।
Respected Director Sir, Deorari Sir, Dr. Bhaga. So my association has not been as long as many others, but my first interaction was in one of the neonatology workshops, which I attended long back when I was doing pediatrics. Now I'm doing pediatric cardiology here. I have not been fortunate enough to have very close interaction with sir, but whatever limited interaction I've had or heard from people at different times, or for the problems which we had within the department or between the units, it was so amicably solved at different times. And I share the same campus as sir stays in the West Campus. And whenever I meet that calmness which comes when you interact, I think that is something which we all need to learn. Even whatever is going around, that calmness is something which is admirable. Thank you so much, sir, for bringing that quality to our life. Wherever you go, continue to do the same. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you everyone for these messages, these stories about Professor Deorari. I think everyone amongst us has enjoyed a lot, and I'm sure that everyone amongst us also has something to say. But we have. I actually came here with I'll be very blunt. I actually came here with a speech about Professor Deorari, but I feel that's redundant now. Everything, it's very redundant because anything that I say right now is just like showing a candle to the sun, because everything has been said and I can't say it better than anyone else who actually came here in the past 10 minutes and gave us a lifetime of memories and cherishment, sir. So I wouldn't take further time, and I will ask the man himself to come here and share his thoughts and wisdom for this long and half a century journey here at AIIMS. Professor Deorari.
So good evening for all those who have come for celebrating my superannuation. My special thanks to Director Sir, Madam Nina, our Dean Academic, Subrato, our Dean Research, Arvind Bagga, my colleague, incoming head of the department, all the faculty members, all the residents who are DM, junior resident, all the nurses, all the faculty members from various departments, and the office staff and the research staff who have gathered here for this function. I am really touched with the words which I listened through from all of you. And to me, running a department which is multifaceted, sir, with multiple super specialties, 50 DM students, total 25 faculty members, 42 MD resident doctors, nearly 30 non-academic SRs. In addition to all this, actively engaged into mentoring future generation of UG students, the nursing students, all the nurses who are working in the ICUs, in the wards, in the ER department, sir. We are so lucky you gave us the space where we are able to stabilize our patients, our research staff, PhD students. I think running a department which has real brainy people is not an easy task, sir. And to work together collectively collectively is another, not an easy task. I learned through in the last 4.5 years, I never thought I am going to be the head of the Department of Pediatrics. But one day Vinod walks in my room and says he's joining and taking a deputation to DTIO. And here is Ashok Chitti, you have to take as HOD. I moved into that room, sat there, did no renovation, nothing. Very room, same chair, no chair changed, and took over that responsibility as head of the department. But I learned from each and every faculty member, each and every staff who worked with me, the resident doctors with whom I interacted, from the nursing staff who were working in the wards, in the ER. And then what I kept on doing in the last 4.5 years was not only the Department of Pediatrics, sir, because you entrusted me with a lot of other responsibilities. Maybe it may be prevention of mosquito-borne disease. Chair that, Ashok. You have to work with the sanitation staff and make sure that we don't have dengue epidemic. And sir, I'm so happy at this point of time. During those 4 years, it never happened because we were doing all run charts and tracking what is happening, and the containment and contact tracing was happening in the entire hospital and the hostel. Then you gave me another responsibility. Ashok, just take this skill lab. And I would tell the younger people that whatever you do, you have to do with you have to put your soul into it, your heart into it, and do with dedication and sincerity. And all work which you do, you cannot do it alone. You have to make a good team of individuals who will work with you. You delegate responsibility to people, let them do it, give them the reward, appreciate them, and then keep on moving with the next target. Keep the target high. Don't stop at one point of time. Think ahead what the scene would be. And as I moved, sir, in simulation, I also pushed people that we need to get to augmented reality, virtual reality, the way forward for doing education for people, 3-dimensional, how you will do. And then I used to interact with this young boy who is startup in Indore. He's doing AR, VR. So I used to interact with him. So think ahead how the shape is going to be for education, for healthcare professionals. Sir, we all started at one point of time. I still remember Dr. Vidyasagar sent me the message today morning. He called me in the morning. He was the person who started neonatology, training of senior professors in the entire country. We just started with doing NRP training, neonatal resuscitation program training, and we moved from one place to other. It started in 1989. And we used to go from one place to other and keep on teaching people. And we learned the way to connect to people is first understand them, respect them, know their name, what they are doing, what problem they have, then do teaching. Teaching education is not when people have their closed mind. It is only when their mind is very receptive. That only happens once you win them. Once you win them, you hammer whatever you want to teach them. They will learn it. And sir, I'm so happy that we started doing that in the UG 3rd year, 4th year NRP, and that program still is continuing at AIIMS for UG education and BSc nursing education for the last now 33 years NRP. But the new program is with the advanced form, new NRP additions which have come. The one thing which I wanted to do in a big way, and sir, you know that, I have told that to many of the leaders and converted a lot of leaders, is it is not quality assurance. It is not also quality healthcare. People confuse. I tell we need people who can do quality improvement. Quality improvement is you don't need money, you don't need resources. Within that same environment, how you can work together, improve the processes of care, and then cut down the cost and make the better experience of care for the families and the patients, with patient safety, which has to be in center stage. So it is quality improvement, sir. We confuse it with quality assurance, which is the SOP, structure, manpower, resources, supply chain. We are talking of quality improvement. And what I found was, because I was very keen from the very beginning in the last so many years for pushing nursing education in newborn, then what I realized is the frontline people who can make and improve the processes of care is the nurses. Made the team of nurses with champions at AIIMS. Aparna is one of them, Parijat Chandra is another one. Lot of nursing champion and faculty members as champions who took that forward, not only at AIIMS, at the other places. But it was that passion, because I had that, we should do no harm to the patient, sir. We keep on talking, do no harm to the patient. But we want antibiotic stewardship to be followed. People will not do it with lectures, PowerPoint, webinars. We need to show them how to track it, how do you get it done, how you can have antibiotic restriction. And I'm so happy our colleagues in the Department of Pediatrics, like Rakesh Lodha, steered that and converted a lot of younger faculty members that we need to contribute to antibiotic stewardship program by tracking, by making policy, by making apps on mobile phone. Sir, in our department, you need to go, sir? Okay, yeah, so I think मैं तो बोलूँगा सर, मैं तो बोलूँगा ही सभी लोगों को सर. I have to thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So the other thing for younger people which I want to share is, the AIIMS has a brand value. This brand value gives you a springboard for doing something which is extraordinary. It can take to you extraordinary heights, but this brand value is behind you, and this is a springboard it is providing to you. You need to ask, what do you want to do? What is your passion? What do you want to take it forward? There is all support from the administration for whatever, because there is no interference, especially for younger faculty member, for people who are doing maybe education, research, or clinical care, whatever, or innovation you want to do, any field you want to do, it provides you that support and the spring. So we are, if you go outside, you may think you are great yourself. No, you are not great. It is the AIIMS brand value which is pushing you. Even for the staff which is working here, in the office staff or administration you are working, or you are in research staff, I think is AIIMS brand value which gives you the name. We should not forget that. And based on that, whatever you want to do it with sincerity. And then always respect the other people and work as a team to do whatever you want to do. So for me, teamwork is very crucial. And then for that, we have to have real good leaders and champions. And I see my faculty colleagues, senior or junior, they are just like leaders. Leaders, I would say, Arvind and his team in nephrology, they are leaders in that field. In research, they are leaders. Sushil, pulmonology, Rakesh, intensive care. So all of them are leaders. Ramesh now is a future leader after I leave from tomorrow in neonatology with his team of able faculty members who are with him. And then Shefali, neurology, and her team, Rachna and her team, Madhulika Kabra and her team in genetics, rare disorder. You know, Department of Pediatrics is one of the best rated department in the entire institute, not only in the institute, in the country. It has the distinction of having 2 WHO collaborating centers. It has the distinction of having 3 advanced ICMR centers. It has 2 centers of excellence within the same department I am talking, and multiple super specialties with so many DM students, so many research product publications which are happening. I think it's a unique department. And the best part is people work together as a team. And I'm very sure, madam, you are Dean Academics. You must have heard complaints from various departments. You never came back to me, Dr. Deorari, कि तुम्हारे डिपार्टमेंट में ये प्रॉब्लम चल रही है. कभी नहीं हुआ. So this is the legacy of Department of Pediatrics. It is not by me coming there. I was handed over that legacy by the previous forefathers and gurus of Department of Pediatrics who were there on the chair of Department of Pediatrics. And I'm very sure Arvind will take everyone together, and then this is going to continue for years together. You know, hospitals are run while we provide services by the nurses. Nurses are the key healthcare provider, frontline healthcare provider who connect to the families, to the patients. They stay 24/7. And that is the reason I realized 25, 27 years ago that without putting and investing on nursing, India will never make a progress. And I have a very strong belief on that at this point of time also. I always see nursing profession taking leap in the form of that we must have neonatal nurse practitioner or a pediatric nurse practitioner, or ER must have nurses who are trained in transporting patients and taking care of patients for doing triaging. Or even in cardiology, we need to have nurses who can manage ICU, special training. But as senior healthcare professionals, my request to all profs is kindly support them. Support them is by creating avenues for them. Not only they will have degrees and fellowships, avenues for them for promotion up the ladder so that they become leaders in times to come and create more of their lineage so that more and more hospitals are going to be run. This country cannot afford too many doctors who will run the health and wellness centers or even peripheral, because doctors don't go to the peripheral PHCs and district hospital. Why can't we have nurses of that caliber that they can manage patients who can be taken care as a primary care doctors? Is all possible, but we have to think out of box, and then we have to invest, and this can't happen by us, but our voice can make that policy change, and then political leadership also can come on board. So we should think about that. So as I said, my passion has been promoting nursing in a big way, doing quality improvement in a big way, and then patient safety in forefront. You do simulation-based teaching learning only for the reason you want to improve the process of care. Time to giving thrombolysis or giving a patient who has got to be done angiography. How can you reduce that time? By training the people who are there in the ER, by doing simulation time and again, you reduce the time. You don't want to miss that golden period. It can't happen sitting in cardiac labs that you can reduce the time. You have to go out from those labs and see where are the places which can be easily gap areas which can be fixed by improving the processes. So that is the way the future of education is going to be, and we have to start thinking towards that. So in the last, I don't want to take too much of time. I would say, number one, whatever we are, I think it is our destiny which has given us this opportunity of coming to AIIMS. And I would say, especially to me, a person coming from a family where there is no one as a doctor, just by luck, and then entering at AIIMS New Delhi, I never knew I will get here. But my dad said long ago, if you have to get into MBBS, दिल्ली में ही लेना पड़ेगा. पैसे नहीं है कि ट्रेन की टिकट देकर इधर उधर जाओगे तुम. तो हमने मौलाना आजाद का एग्जाम दिया, 8th पोजीशन ली. श्योर थे कि एम्स में एडमिशन हो जाएगा. रिजल्ट निकला, 31 लोगों के नाम आए. हमारा नाम न्यूज़पेपर में नहीं था, बहुत दुखी हुए, कन्फ्यूजन हो गया कि 340 रुपये उधर फीस दे दें या क्या करें। तो तब तक एक टेलीग्राम आ गया 7:30 बजे सुबह घर पे कि भैया एम्स का इंटरव्यू देना है। हमने कहा ये क्या आ गया टेलीग्राम। अपने बड़े ब्रदर को, गौरव के फादर को भेजा गया, इंस्टीट्यूट में जाओ, 510 210 नंबर बस आती थी। ये एक जंगल टाइप की चीज़ होती थी उस समय, क्योंकि एक ट्रेन का रास्ता आता था, वहाँ बस रुक जाती थी। वो आए यहाँ पे, रजिस्ट्रार ऑफिस गए, ढींगरा साहब के पास, पता लगा कि भाई यहाँ टाई हो गई है, 4 लोगों के बराबर मार्क्स हैं, तो 4 सीट जो बननी है, 31 के 35 ओपन सीट होती, 4 को इंटरव्यू देना पड़, 5 लोगों को इंटरव्यू देना 4 सीट के लिए। इंटरव्यू को आए, डायरेक्टर जहाँ बैठते हैं उसमें डॉक्टर रामालिंगा स्वामी सर बैठे हुए थे, बगल में डॉक्टर केशवानी, साइड वाले में बो टाई लगा के, हम जैसे निक्कर पहन के बंदे जो हैं उनके सामने पहुंच गए। वो पूछने लगे, कुछ कुछ पूछा, उसके बाद कहते, मैं दोबारा से रिपीट कर रहा हूँ, ये व्हाट डू यू थिंक अशोक, व्हाट इज, कैन यू टेल अस समथिंग अबाउट जीन। हमें जो कुछ आता है हम बोल के आ गए। वहाँ पे बाहर निकले तो पता लगा 5 में से एक बच्चे का अपना वो 12वीं का जो एग्ज़ाम है उसका सर्टिफिकेट नहीं पहुंचा था, नंदी का। तो हमें हल्के से बोल दिया गया, भाई तुम 4 का तो हो ही जाएगा, चिंता मत कर। घुस गए। तो ऐसे करके तो हम MBBS में घुस गए, और फिर जैसे जैसे जो चीज़ आती गई उसको हम पकड़ते चले गए, लेकिन करा हर काम जो था दिल लगा के किया, मेहनत के साथ किया। दूसरी चीज़ जो मैंने सीखी, मैं आप लोगों को रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, अगर आपको प्रोग्रेस करना है जिंदगी में, तो यू मस्ट क्रिएट मोर लीडर्स, एंड these leaders and champions should not be within the 4 walls of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. If you want to get a big recognition, look out of this, start thinking something which is totally out of box at a scale and big scale, and then try to find out individuals who have that capability of being a champion and a leader to lead more people. By doing that, what happens is you increase the number of hands which can convert your vision. You want to help the children or newborn or the mothers. But if you have multiple leaders, you will see only 20. If you create 100, they will see 2,000. So this is how you do, and pass on what your vision is to the other people. Give in their hands, and they take it forward and forward. And you can reach far and wide, not only in the country, globally in many of the countries. So I learned that technique of connecting people, and I think all that credit goes to Dr. Mehran Singh. He told me, Ashok, if you have to do it, one day he said, Vinod was on that side, I was on this side, he was in the center. He was handing over some certificate to both of us on neonatal ventilation training. And I still remember American and Canadian faculty was here in this very room. And sir told me, Ashok, if you have to do something, ये जो है ना, ये इंस्टीट्यूट में ही तुम वर्कशॉप करते रहोगे, लोग आते रहेंगे और सीखते रहेंगे, उससे कुछ नहीं होगा. You have to move out, get out from here. And that is what itched into my mind. And one of the Canadian, Doug Macmillan, he told me, if you do something outside, make it a sustainable model. Ask people to pay the money, but don't take from pharmaceutical and companies and instrument company. Ask people to pay the money for the learning they will get so that you are able to sustain it. And I think I found out that model and moved with a lot of people in the country. Use the money of the people who want to learn. Use it to sustain it. And then whatever is left over the money, put it on nursing education, because that is also so important for. So this is how I moved, and my vision that lot of people in the country, Ramesh will vouch for that. And if you want to see that, come on 6th of March to IBIS Hotel. They are all flying over from India to just again do a celebration for me. So I think that is what you can do, and you can do only, and AIIMS provides you that opportunity. And see, research section provides support for research. But I was so lucky that we used to do research or education by doing multiple APWs, agreed planned work for the World Health Organization, for the UN organization. And we had the opportunity of bringing that money to the research section, disperse that money wherever it is getting used to. So that type of support, where else you can find out? You go to another institution. You have no avenues to bring the money from the UN agencies or WHO or UNICEF. No way out. So you can bring those, pursue your vision, support administration from the research section. That can all happen. And lastly, I would say, all my office staff. I say, मंजू जिस थोड़ा सा बोल के गई, डर रही थी बोलने से. आपको पता है मंजू जो है हमारे डिपार्टमेंट की, वो होता है ना कार ड्राइव करने वाली, स्टीयरिंग में बैठी है. एचओडी जो हैं जो आते हैं वो तो वो कागजों में यूं यूं, सारे के सारे रेजिडेंट, मैडम आई टेल यू, सारे रेजिडेंट डीएम हो, एसआर हो, जेआर हो, कनेक्शन उनका सबसे पहले मंजू है. And thank you, Manju, for taking this responsibility. And I think I must be the fourth or third faculty HOD. I am very sure she will get an offer. Anyone who becomes the next director will pull her कि इसको वहाँ ले आते हैं. But I am very sure she is going to support Arvind Bagga and the other people also in times to come, because you have long innings with you. And she is ably supported by Nidhi, Ravi, Umakant. So they provide you that support in the Department of Pediatrics. Thank you all. And all the resident doctors, all the SRs who have come over for this celebration. And I don't know, NK Arora ने कहाँ से सुन लिया कि NMC वाले बुला रहे हैं, ये कर रहे हैं, वो कर रहे हैं. ऐसा होता है, हर पुडिंग को आपको पहले देखना पड़ता है कि क्या TOR हैं, क्या काम है, तभी तो आप डिसाइड करते हो कि आप क्या करोगे. अगर आपको दिल से कुछ चीज़ पसंद आएगी तो आप उसको करने के लिए आप अग्रसर होगे. सो वो देखते हैं क्या होता है. मैं हेल्थ मिनिस्टर ने भी मेरे को बुलाया था, फ्राइडे को नर्सिंग की वो थी, उसके बाद मैं मिला उनको 30 मिनट के लिए. लेकिन वो देखेंगे क्या होता है. मेरे हाथ में कुछ नहीं है. ये मैं आपको जो बोला शुरू में, पहला सेंटेंस मैंने आपको, MBBS में कैसे घुस गया मैं, क्या हुआ मेरे को नहीं पता है. मेरे को नहीं पता है मेरी डेस्टिनी में क्या लिखा हुआ है, और वही होगा जो उसमें लिखा है. मैं तो एक तरह से कार्य करता हूँ उसको निभाने के लिए. चाहे इट में भी ए बिग हॉस्पिटल विच आई हैव टू रन एंड गाइड पीपल और कनेक्ट. मेरा दिल जो है कनेक्ट होता है यंग जनरेशन से, यंग माइंड से, बिकॉज इनको मैं एक तरह से सोर्स ऑफ पावर एंड एनर्जी मानता हूँ. तो इनके साथ ही आप सबसे ज़्यादा सीखते हो. तो मेरे को दिल की खुशी वहाँ है, यंग जनरेशन के साथ है, पावर बैटरी के साथ है. मैं अपने आप को तो एम्प्टी कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन समझता हूँ. विदाउट एनी पावर वो फ्यूज हो जाता, गायब हो गया, कुछ नहीं आ रहा. संजीवनी कुछ नहीं आ रहा, खाली है. तो जब तक ये पावर नहीं है तो कुछ नहीं होगा. सो मज़ा उसमें है, जो मेरा दिल कहता है कि मज़ा उसमें है, और इस तरह का ही काम करना चाहिए. इफ़ यू कैन मेंटर पीपल, गाइड देम, devote time, and these are our future people. I would even connect to BSc nursing students, first year, second year, nurses who are working in the ward. I think they are doing tremendous job. Without them, healthcare delivery system is fused, zero. You may have a wonderful faculty member and a clinician who can write drugs and medicine and everything. But once your patient is sick, it is the nurses who make all that difference. So we need to take them on fold, work with them, and if we have the opportunity of guiding them, making them good leaders with good avenues, progressing their education forefront, in addition to MD resident are also important. Even UG students are so important. So we need to do all this. So thank you all for coming for this celebration. I am very sure this celebration will last much longer. And again, as I said, I would keep on working till God gives me energy. Unless he asks me, Ashok, अब तुम्हारे लिए ये बेड आ गया, इस पे पकड़ो इसको, छोड़ दो अब काम करना. Otherwise, I am going to work wherever I am, and I'll keep on doing the good work. And it may happen, it will be better work because I'm little bit now free bird now. Over next 3-4 weeks, I will think through what is there in store for me and what I need to walk through, and I would do what my heart would say. I always tell people, number 2, you listen, brain is wavery. It gives you huge ideas. Look at your heart, what it is asking you to do. Is it syncing with what your brain is teaching you? Unless it is in sync with that, you would be in wrong path. Second advice I give to all people, younger people also. If you get married in future and if you have children, if you don't mentor them properly and educate them and give adequate time to your husband or to your kids, then you are in trouble. You are in trouble. You are not doing that duty what God wanted you for doing procreation, bringing someone in this world and then to make a future good human being, whatever he or she wants to do. So if you have that, you have to do academics, research, whatever you have to have your family life and family time, which has to be on topmost priority. These 2 things. First is heart and brain. Listen to your heart, not to this. Second is about your family life. If you want to get married, have kids, you must have a focus and give time to your child to make him a real good human being, so that you are proud of at the end while comes to you, that you don't have to worry about your children who are going to be future, whatever they do, whatever profession they choose. So my best wishes to all my faculty colleagues, all the resident doctors, all the nurses, all the research staff, everyone who has come for this, and especially Madam Dean, both the deans, Richa and Kritika and everyone, Aditya, who has organized this function, and all the faculty members who have come from various departments to give their time. N.K. Arora, Vinod Paul's brother, Vinod is busy somewhere, so Bindi is there, younger brother Varinder, he is also V.K. Paul. ये भी उसका फायदा लेता है, विनोद पॉल का फायदा लेता है जगह जगह. वीके पॉल, वरिंदर नहीं लिखेगा ये, वीके पॉल. And N.K. Arora, who also joined. And thank you so much. And I'm really touched, honored with your words, and I look forward. You are going to be in my big field. Whatever I do, I would be still be connected wherever I am with each one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
सर, आपके इतने उत्साहपूर्ण शब्द थे कि हम सब और ज़्यादा उत्साहित हो गए हैं, दुखी से ज़्यादा कहीं ज़्यादा उत्साहित. आपके शब्द सर हमेशा हम सभी के लिए सुंदर मोती रहे हैं. धन्यवाद सर. सुंदर व्यक्तित्व, अच्छे लोग, इन्हें याद करना नहीं पड़ता, ये हम सभी को हमेशा याद रहते हैं. सर, आप हम सभी के, इस विभाग के, एम्स परिवार के, पीडियाट्रिक्स परिवार के हृदय में, केंद्र में हमेशा अंकित रहेंगे. और हम सभी की ओर से मैं अनुरोध करती हूँ सर कि हम सबका मार्गदर्शन हमेशा करते रहें. हमारे लिए ना आप टायर्ड हैं ना होंगे, ना आप रिटायर्ड हैं ना आप रिटायर होंगे. मैं सप्रेम आदर से आपका धन्यवाद करती हूँ. डॉक्टर सविता मैम, मैं आपका भी धन्यवाद करती हूँ कि आप हम सभी के साथ आज पूरे समय यहाँ सम्मिलित थी और आपने हम सबके साथ इतना सारी चीज़ें शेयर की. धन्यवाद प्रोफेसर गुलेरिया सर का। सर अभी यहाँ से जा चुके हैं, पर धन्यवाद उनको। समय के अभाव के बावजूद सर हमारे साथ यहाँ पर सम्मिलित थे। आप सभी का, एम्स परिवार का, पीडियाट्रिक्स परिवार का, हर एक छात्र छात्राएं जो भी हम सबके साथ सम्मिलित थे, उन सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। पर अभी C5D5 के हमारे नर्सिंग स्टाफ सर आपको एक भेंट देना चाहते हैं। तो पहले मैं उन्हें यहाँ से क्लोज करने के पहले मैं उन्हें आमंत्रित करना चाहती हूँ।